what I wanted to ask you. There were, even after the fight tonight, there were a lot of people, on the internet, who wants to pay for a, first round armbar, big deal and all that. and I wonder if, do you think in any way you were vindicated and Ronda was vindicated just by the way she fought?
I never felt the need to be vindicated. You know what I mean? I never felt like I needed to be vindicated. Everybody was saying that the Henderson-Machida fight should have been the main event, right? No. And nothing against those two. That would have stunk the place out. Imagine if that was the last fight of the night. People would have left here pissed. You're always going to have idiots on the internet that say stupid shit. I can tell you what, this thing sold out. The gate was bigger than the Cain Velasquez Junior Dos Santos fight. And there's a lot of other figures that I'm working on right now. It's going to end up being the biggest women's pay-per-view of all time. Biggest women's pay-per-view fight ever. It's probably, I don't know about the gate yet.
What is the biggest prior?
What I heard is 120,000 bucks.
125,000. Ali Frazier.
125,000 Ali Frazier.
Yeah, like 2001, whatever.
Yeah, that's the biggest. This is going to smoke that. Smoke it. So, it's the most successful women's fight of all time.
Do you know, some people were saying, when we were talking the other day about what the most highly paid woman was, some people were saying Gina made $250 when she fought Cyborg that time. Do you know any way?
Well, if the pay-per-views are doing, I don't care what anybody made, because I've looked at a lot of women's numbers. This is probably going to be the biggest purse ever for a woman, too.
Again, Tito was down here talking to us. He said that
I bet he was.
Yeah, he's looking for a New Year's fight because after a 3-fight deal, I guess, with the other organization, and he wants it at 140, even if it's not for a title. Any your thoughts on that?
No, I have no thoughts on that. That means nothing to me. She's gonna fight the next girl. Let me tell you what, shit's rolling here. Cyborg's not a part of it. They can have as many press conferences as they want to have, or show up here in the back, or do whatever they want to do. She had the opportunity to sign with the UFC. She chose not to. This thing's rolling. This thing's moving. We're already going.
You're almost at 15.
This is the biggest, the most successful fight ever in the history of women's fighting. Christine Martin, Layla Ali, all the girls that have fought. This is a big night for women. Like we were talking about before this fight, all these talented women that are out there that are in judo and all these other things, believe me, just like I've always told you guys, when we go into a new market and shit just explodes in these new markets and people start training, and that's what's going to happen now in this women's division. This 135-pound division is going to become pretty nasty pretty quick.
Well, do you think you might get another division then out of it if that in fact happens, that girls at 145 or 125 might come
You know how long it's going to take me to get the world to know the girls that are here now? It takes time to build these divisions. Still building these new men's divisions that we started, Cyborg missed the boat. They can fucking do whatever they want to do and play games. You know what I mean? You over-negotiate sometimes, I used to be, let me tell you what, I used to be Tito's manager. And the biggest negotiation I ever had for Tito was with Bob Meyerowitz. You know how hard it is negotiating with a guy who doesn't give a shit? It's not fun, man. I couldn't sleep for a year doing that deal with Tito and with Bob Meyerowitz. And there comes a point, I always made sure that we were going to get what we wanted, but don't ever over-negotiate. They've already over-negotiated. They're gone. It's over. You're fighting in Invicta. Do your thing.
But Danny, you said
the world isn't going to fucking stop. Nobody even knows who the fuck Cyborg is. She's got 30,000 followers on Twitter. Nobody knows her.
You said in the past, though, you think Ronda at some point will want that fight.
Well, then that's different. If Ronda comes, she's the champ. She comes in one day and says, you know what, I've cleaned out this division. I feel like I've fought everybody. I'll move up to 140 and fight her. And if Cyborg's still fighting at that time or whatever goes on, then we'll see what happens.
Can you explain the importance of why it is that you feel like you have to develop the division? You've said, I need to get this belt defended a few times before I can talk about 140, 145. But why is that?
That's the way I am with all the divisions. You get somebody in there who establishes the division and the title, and that you build a star. We're in one of those positions right now. How about this? How about Jose Aldo came out and said, there's no way in hell I'm fighting Pettis.
What?
Really?
He's absolutely refusing to fight Pettis. Doesn't think he deserves the shot.
Who's he think he should fight, or what's his?
What's the moving?
Means he don't want to fight Pettis.
Did you fight him anyway?
Fucking right, he's gonna fight Pettis.
What are you gonna do with contract? Where did you go from here?
I don't know. I like Josh. Nobody else does, but I do.
Do you consider Machida fighting in Brazil because he's one of the only ones?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, there are a lot of people tonight. I was, again, Twitter and the internet and everything else, but saying that was the worst decision ever. Blah, blah, blah. Come on, give me a break. Let me tell you what. Ed Soares came over to me and goes, I go, what? I don't know. You know, I think Machida won the fight, but let me tell you what. If they called Dan Henderson's name, it wouldn't shock me either. They didn't fight the last 3.5 minutes of the fight. They didn't do anything. First round is he gets that top position and maybe steals the round. You know, he Sugar Ray Leonard at the end of that round there and maybe took it, right? Second round was close too. Third round sucked. Neither one of them should have got a point for the third round. It was terrible. You know, you fight fights like that, who knows what's going to happen? The people booing and going crazy like, oh my God, this is a disaster. If Dan Henderson would have won, I would have said, I can see that too. It wasn't one of those fights it's one of those fights that you don't want to fight. And stand there at the end with the judge holding your hand, wondering which one they're going to raise.
Dana, where do you stand on the Pettis thing now?
What?
What happens now with Aldo?
The battle begins.
When it was announced, did he not agree to it?
Press conference.
Yeah, what happened?
Cool.
Yeah. And then Andre Pedernera was in England and sat down with me and Lorenzo and he's like, we don't think he deserves it. What do you mean you don't think he deserves it? Well, he might be the number one guy at 50, but how does that make him the most? Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you serious? Did you seriously just ask me that question? It's like if Aldo wanted to move up to 155, we're going to say he's not the number one contender? What are you talking about? Listen, I wouldn't want to fight Pettis either.
Did he say who he thinks he is instead?
No, just not Pettis.
So right now,
He's absolutely refusing to fight Pettis.
so right now is that fight off?
No, the fight's on. He's going to fight Pettis or he's not going to like how this is going to turn out.
And you have a fight, you have the next women's fight, you have the Ultimate Fighter finale, ready to announce any others currently?
I'm sorry, ask me that
You
again?
have the next women's fight at the Ultimate Fighter finale. Do you have any other female fights to announce at this point?
No, not that I know of. Not that I'm aware. We might, but just not that I don't know.
Do you get any kind of a time frame as far as when you want Ronda to fight again, like July, June, September, or whatever?
I don't yet, no. You know, my whole, the way I treated this fight is let's see what happens that night. Let's see how this whole thing goes, and it went well.
What can you do for an encore with her, though, after such a great build-up? It seems like...
Well, there's other real tough girls out there, too, for her to fight. Listen, Ronda's a star, man. Listen, whether people want to admit it or not, or people don't like it or not, too fucking bad. The girl's a star, man. People love her, and people want to see her. And she's fun to watch fight. I mean, there was no bigger naysayer than me. I was the one. I was like, this ain't going to happen. I was the one who was making that decision. It ain't going to happen here. Better wait till I retire or die. It ain't happening in this company. And then I started watching fights, educated myself, and now, I mean, there's a lot of good women in that division, and there's a lot of good fights for her.
Dana, do you have the names of the other women that have been signed to the division? You said that there were 10.
They were all here. They were all over the place tonight. Every one of them were here tonight at the fights.
Kat and Sarah McMahon. We have Alexis Davis, Ronda Rousey, Liz.
Sean Shelby knows them.
And I
Sarah?
was curious about the other 3 or 4.
She was asking questions.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the answer to it, though. Sean Shelby could answer that question. He knows all of them. That could slide into that slot? No, well, Chael's going to fight Jones, right? Machida's the guy. Machida's number one, yeah. Gustafsson's going to fight in Sweden. And then, you know, we're a little backed up right now because of the Ultimate Fighter. We know how this happens, you know. But Jones will fight that fight, fight Machida, and then we'll see who's next.
When you think Machida, he turned down the Jones fight at 152, I guess.
Yep.
So I'm trying to think which one it was, but he turned it down. Like tonight he puts in a stinker. So in some ways, you say, well, what is his, deserving it? What if Gustafsson looks great against Masasi? Why wouldn't he get consideration?
Yeah. Kev, I don't disagree with you, my friend.